We all here for it. Moving right along.
Talk to me.
This week's Ellie House game of the week.
Woo! Talk to me.
It's one of them, right? It's one of them. It's one of them weeks. It's one of them weeks where the Ellie House game of the week it's an all week thing, right? Like the promo for this from all the different media outlets is going to be ramped up. The excitement going to be ramped up.
Probably be pep rallies. Kids in school going to be geeked up.
Babysitters is already booked. People call. I need to leave work early Friday.
Aunties, your uncles, granddaddy, great granddaddy's gonna be calling, telling you about how they played, how the game was like in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, all of that.
Right, and everybody on Facebook they go where the link to watch the game.
Yep,
we're looking for the link to watch the game. But it's one of them.
Yep.
This week we got Massillon Tigers.
Yep.
Getting on the road.
Yep.
Coming down to Mullencoff Stadium
for sure
to take on this year's Warren G. Harding Raiders.
You know it.
Not to be confused with last year's Warren G. Harding Raiders that was up there at Paul Brown Stadium.
Yeah, we ain't even gonna talk about that.
I think this is a different team. I know this is a different team.
Fact.
What you got, Coach? Let's talk about it. Hold on. This is Harding Massillon. And I got some guys in here. So let's get into it, man. The Ellie House game of the week. Coach Stella, what you got?
Before I get into the game, this is for sure gonna be one of them games I wish I could still play. Most of the weeks I'm wishing I'm coaching. This week I'm wishing I'm playing. This is Harding Massillon. You don't got to say a lot. Both teams 6-2, two big time programs, big time rivalry. You know I like to always say rivalry games. Throw the records out the window. They don't matter. They do not matter. Warren G. Harding, they lost this year to Cam McKinley and Ursuline. Massillon lost to Bergen Catholic and DeMatha. So both teams got two losses, but to big-time programs. Nobody has lost to a bad football team yet. Harding coming off 3 straight wins, Massillon coming off 2 straight wins. So just putting that out there as far as how both teams are playing coming into the game. Both teams 6-2. Both teams got 2 losses to 2 good programs. Both teams got multiple wins coming into the game. Now, the atmosphere going to be crazy. Again, if you're a coach, if you're a player, if you're a competitor, you ain't going to be excited in that atmosphere, something's going to be wrong with you. It's also going to show quick. Games like this, if you ain't willing to be in that fight, it's going to show quick. Whether it's your eyes in pregame, whether it's your energy in pregame, whether it's your effort the first, second, or third play of the game is going to show quick. All right? Now let's just talk about Harding. Harding needs to play their best game of the season to win this game. As a whole, as a team, offense, defense, special teams, Harding has to play their best football game of the year this year. Second, Harding's best football players has to play their best football games of the year this week. This week. I don't care what you did in week 3, 4, 7, or 8. This week, week 9, you have to play your best football game. All in all, that's the first two points I wanted to make. Just to give you an analogy, if I'm the Harding football team, if I'm coaching, I'm telling them all week it's a party. The reason why I'm saying that is we need everybody there. We need everybody there. Whether you the L4 on kickoff and we need you to have a great game as the L4 on kickoff. So all in all, right there, we got to do those things first. Need multiple playmakers to make plays. Aries Coleman Bay need to make a big. I think Steven Sims may be hurt. If he is healthy enough to play, he need to make some plays. Hopefully, Mike King is back at some point. They need him to make plays. Marcus Crum need to make plays. Devin Morgan need to make plays. Anybody who puts on a Warren G. Harding uniform on Friday night needs to make an impact in some type of way, offense, defense, or special teams. As far as the tactics of the game, we got to take care of the ball. Harding has to take care of the ball. You can't play a team like Massillon and have turnovers and expect to win the game, let alone be in the game. So you got to take care of the ball. And also, you got to run the ball. If we take care of the ball and run the ball, we can shorten the game. Defensively, if we don't give up the big play, make Massillon have long drives, it's kind of reverse psychology where they can help you shorten the game. You don't want this to be a 13, 14 possession game. You want this to be a 7 or 8 or 9 possession game where Massillon got the ball 4 or 5 times, I got the ball 4 or 5 times. If we could do that first, we got a good chance. So we got to do them things. Take care of the ball, stop the run, and don't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties. And on defense, don't give up the big play. And then all in all, our best players must play best. And as a group, we must play best. On the Massillon side of it, Massillon is talented and deep. We talked about their 2 losses. It's the 2 state champions outside the state of Ohio. Jameer Gamble coming off a game, he had 290 yards, 5 touchdowns. Also got Mylan Lennox that can come in at tailback and make good plays. Nolan Davenport and Jason Lewis up front, they leading the big offensive line. Jalen Slaughter at quarterback. Braylon Tolles at receiver. Ja Carter at receiver. So they loaded. And defensively, Mike Wright Jr., Jaden Williams, Jaden Williams has been playing lights out this year. I don't know if people paying attention to him. He playing lights out. Vito McConnell and Tyler Hackenbrake. I'm just saying all those names to pretty much just state the obvious. Yes, they're talented and deep. Yes, they're talented and deep. I know from the Massillon side, Coach Moore is telling his guys, let's be ready to go from the jump. Not from the first play, from the time we get on the bus, let's be locked in and ready to go. He's going to be looking at it like, okay, I got the most talented, deeper team. If my team come locked in and play hard, we could take care of business. All in all, on the flip side, Harding, you have to be looking at this team like, I don't care who you is coming in here. You got to make it a backyard alley type of game. We need multiple. If I'm the coach, I'm trying to kick off first. I need a big hit right now. First kickoff, I need a big hit right now. That's what type of game this is, because you got to set the tone and you got to let Massillon know you're here to play. You got to let Massillon know you're here to play. To us, it's a rivalry. I can't speak for them kids in Massillon. They may look at it like it's not a rivalry. I don't know. To us, to the people in Warren, older people that lived it, played in the game, learned about the game, grew up around the game, this is a big-time rivalry. Same to the people in Massillon, the older people in Massillon. This is a big-time rivalry to them. That don't mean the kids now that play for Massillon look at it as such. And that got to be a personal challenge to the kids from Warren. That got to be a personal challenge to the kids from Warren. This is going to go beyond the X's and O's and beyond the talent. I'm excited to be at this game because I want to rip open the chest of our kids in Warren. I want to see what we made of. That's what type of week this is. I don't care what Massillon do. I don't care what they got, what they trying to do. We got to have that mindset.
All right, Coach. Thank you. And I want to pose this question to Carl. If what you've seen of the Warren G. Harding team this year, if Warren G. Harding, this year's Warren G. Harding's team figure out a way, or they come in there and they beat Massillon at home right now, both coming in 6-2, and Harding get the win, how big will that be for the trajectory of our program or the program right now?
Oh, it'll be huge. It'll be huge. Especially like you said, it's gonna be a playoff atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So to me, this is a fine opportunity to get ready for what you're gonna be facing. And like you said, man, this would be huge for where we're trying to trend to. You know, we want to trend upwards, you know what I'm saying? Just to build confidence, not only for the program, but just for the community. I mean, a lot of eyes are going to be watching this game. So a lot of people are going to see how Harding come out and play. So this will be not only huge just for, you know, this year's team, but it'd be, to me, it'd be a stepping stone, a program builder. If you're able to come in and get the win this week, and just to emphasize a lot of points Coach Stella already said, like, this is the game. You know, for me, this is the game. If I was in high school, I'm staring out the window all week. You know, I mean, imagining what I'm going to be doing. You know what I mean? This is the game where legends are created. You know, I just go back to 2002 and, you know, getting a call and said, man, you remember Little Mario? You know, Little Mario from the Gardens? Yeah, I remember Little Mario. What's up? He ain't Little Mario no more. He's Super Mario now. You know what I mean? So this is the type of things I remember from the rivalry. You know what I mean? So like you said, this is a stepping stone, you know what I'm saying, to what we trying to become, what we trying to build, you know what I'm saying, and getting back to what we known for. So this would be huge, not only just, you know, for this year's teams, but also the community and what we trying to build.
Facts.
Coach, I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Is this a David versus Goliath matchup?
To the outside, yes. To the outside, yes. I mean, of course, it's David versus Goliath matchup. Because you got to look at it in the small view of the last 2 or 3 years as far as where each program has been at. So if you look at it in that realm, yes. If you look at it from the outside looking in, regular high school fans, people that cover it, media, yes. But it can't be that inside the locker rooms. At the end of the day, everybody put their pants on one leg at a time. That got to be the mindset. It's one of them games, man. This is. I'm excited to see what a lot of kids are made of in this game.
I love talking to Coach Stella on this show about Harding because he be so torn about his personal conviction. He be so look how serious his face is. He can't even hide. He can't even hide it.
I am who I am.
Right. Like, so it's a beautiful thing.
But that's the thing about me is like, I love our show. You know, we got our own platform. I love our show. But at the end of the day, I'm a coach. I'm not a journalist.
Right.
I can't help where I'm from, where I was raised at, what I love.
I'll ask you a question. Based off what you've seen on both teams and your expertise, what can some of us expect to see this weekend from Harding and Massillon during this matchup?
Yeah, gonna be a physical contest. You know what I mean? Watch. One thing I've been really impressed with Harding is they physical. Physical. Like they play hard. So I think overall it's gonna be a physical contest. Massillon gonna come out early and want to get rid of Harding, take their will out early. You know what I mean? Just let them know from the gate you don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, Harding, like Coach Stella said earlier, they got to play their best game. You know what I mean? Stay ahead of schedule. Stay ahead of schedule, stay on schedule. You know what I mean? No stupid penalties, you know what I mean? And limit the big plays. And they got to find somebody to on the opposite end for Harding. They got to, I'm saying, at least 5 to 6 big plays in order to keep them in the game. So they got to find a way to get some explosive plays from somebody somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think if they're able to do that, it'd be a good contest.
Mm-hmm. Coach,
what's up, baby?
One of your thing that you always talk about, especially when we talk about the teams like Massillon and the teams, those big programs what are you looking to see in the trenches?
Northeast Ohio football in general, that's always the first thing you look at. Who gonna win the trenches? As far as when Massillon got the ball on offense, Harding on defense, like we talked about, Massillon got a big, strong offensive line, and they want to run the ball down their throat if they can. Harding just gotta break even there. You got to break even there. At the end of the day, it's high school football. So even if they're bigger than you, if you give me 4 to 6 kids that's willing to go out here and play as hard as they can, be scrappy, they're going to make some plays too. So all in all, you got to break even there. On the flip side, when Massillon's on defense, Harding on offense, it's the same thing. You got to break even. You got to be able to contain Mike Wright Jr. We can't let him disrupt the plays right over the ball in the middle of the field and blow up the plays. And now we're off schedule, like Carl said. Our rhythm is gone. Now we're in 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12s that lead to 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 9s. We can't have that. But all in all, that's going to be the first test. After being focused, being locked in, having energy, being ready to play, you got to do all of that before we kick off. But then once we kick off, you got to at least break even in those trenches. Of course, they're bigger, stronger than you. That don't mean nothing. You got to be in the fight. You got to be locked in with the guy you playing next to. You got to be communicating with your coaches after every possession. Okay, coach, this is what they doing. We did this, now they doing this. What's our adjustment? And you got to be able to at least break even in the trenches. If you could break even in the trenches, Massillon has good athletes, but Harding always got good athletes. So if we could break even in the trenches, that just gives us a better chance to win the game.
Absolutely. And I pose this last question I have for both of you guys.
Talk to me. We'll let Carl answer it first.
Let Carl, you answer it first. Coach Richardson is no stranger to going up against Massillon. You know what I'm saying? Coming over from Hoban, actually played against him in the state championship game last year. Yep. How much of it is an advantage for Harding do you see with Coach Rich at the helm? Just got through playing Massillon in the state championship game last year. He's familiar with Coach Moore. He know what they like to do. How can Coach Richardson use that as an advantage to him with his guys that he got this year? Because it's not the same as the Hoban team he played with.
I just understand what I said, preparation. You know what I'm saying? Just being prepared, understanding what they're going to try to do to you, how they're going to attack you. But at the end of the day, the players got to play. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Like the coaches coach, but players got to play. So to make sure the players' attitude is right, make sure they are ready to compete at a very high and intense level. That's what this game going to come down to. You know what I'm saying? You can be prepared as much as you want to be prepared, but if the players don't go out there and execute it, it's all for nothing.
What the coach used to say? I can't do it for you. I can't make the tackle for you. I can do. What about you, Coach? What do you think from a coaching aspect? Is that going to give Harding the edge that they need? Is that going to be the 12th man aside from being a home game? How important is that factor of Coach Richardson's familiarity with Nate Moore and his bunch coming in to Massillon Stadium?
Right. I think it's an advantage for sure, but it's only an advantage if the kid is ready to play and they can make it an advantage. Coach Rich is going to do his part. And what I mean is it's definitely an advantage. He played against him before and previously. He just played against him in the state championship. So he'll know a little bit more than a regular team that just playing Massillon for the first time does. He'll know kind of how we can attack them based off the team he has this year. Like you said, it's different from Hoban's team, but he'll still have some angles to attack based on the team he has this year. But just having Coach Rich as a whole in this game is an advantage because he's played and coached in multiple big games. We talk about a guy that won the state championship as a high school player, won the state championship as a high school coach, won a national championship as a college player. You know what I mean? So we talking about a guy that played in multiple big-time games and coached in multiple big-time games. So all in all, he's going to be an advantage for sure for our kids, being the fact that he knows Massillon and he's been in these type of games a lot as a player and as a coach. So he's going to be able to keep them prepared, like Carl said, throughout the week. He's going to be able to keep them focused. He's going to be able to give them the blueprint. But they got to go do it. And all in all, they got to go do it. And, just to wrap it up, it's a big-time rivalry game, like we said. It's going to be big for Division II playoff seedings. Whatever team wins this game is going to get a huge bump in the seedings wherever they're at right now. And it's a big-time game. I love this game. This is my favorite game as a Warren alum, because the tradition is deep on both sides. The rivalry runs deep. And like Carl said earlier, I don't know what's the best Massillon game been as far as Warren, Harding, and Massillon. I don't know what the best game has been in the history, but I know I probably played in the top 3 games against Massillon in history. I know I had front row seats for that Super Mario game. I know that was the USA Today game of the week, number 3 versus number 9 in the country. So I know what this game feels like, looks like, and I know what it could do for you individually and as a team moving forward. So I'm excited. Again, this ain't a game I want to be coaching in. This is a game I wish I could be playing in, for sure.
Hey, real quick, shout out to my guy, Sean Cravel, too.
Shout out to Crave.
Yeah, shout out to Crave out there. Massillon alum, University of Michigan alum. Yep. Probably one of the fastest linebackers to ever play at the University of Michigan.
Fact.
Just want to show you some love, my guy.
And that's my brother, my old AAU teammate. Even though his legs are skinny as this cord, he got hops. He'll dunk on you. So shout out to Sean Craig, baby. You know it's all love this way. And we'll see him next week.
We'll see him next week. Yep. I was about to say, that was a little gut shot you did to Master by breaking up Craig. You know why you did?
Hey, that's my guy, man. I got to show him love.
Yeah, shout out to Craig.
For sure. Well, it's one of them games this week, man. It was a no-brainer. That was probably the easiest game of the week we was able to select.
Right.
But we excited. I encourage everybody in the Warren community and surrounding communities. You don't want to miss this. Come on out. Come early. You know what I'm saying? We get an opportunity. We talk about environments all the time. And not for nothing, we've been very critical about the Warren G. Harding environment, how it's not how it traditionally was in the past. So, we always ask the players to do their part. We always ask the coach to do their part. But as a community, saying, bring out your snivel gear and let's come out and have a good time because, saying these are some of those things that it's an event for all age groups in the family. And we already know no matter what's going in our community, nothing happens at Massillon Stadium on Friday nights, except for football. So
that's a great point too, bro. And I'm going to piggyback off that point a little bit. Warren fans, Warren people, don't come to the game being cool this week. Nobody care what you got on, what you trying to do. Them kids need you. Bring some energy, man. If it's 3rd and long, come holler, man. Don't try to be cool and worry about who playing, not playing, or I don't like that coach or whatever. Come give them baby some energy, man. They need it. They trying to get a big-time win against one of the best teams in the state of Ohio. So, like you said, great point you made, bro. Everybody got to do their part. So we need everybody in there from Warren to bring some energy, give those kids some energy, because we know for sure, one thing we know for sure about Massillon, they traveling. they fans
for sure.
coming and they fans coming to bring their baby some energy. So I can't wait to be in there and see it on both sides.
And that's one of those things we claim to be one of those, not claim to be, we definitely are one of those football towns. One of them Friday night light towns. Yeah. And we get an opportunity to, put ourselves back in that conversation when they're talking about some of the best environments to catch high school football. That's our Ellie House game of the week. Hey! Massillon Tigers coming down to Mullin Stadium, take on the WGH Harding Raiders. I can't wait. Our face will be in the place.
You know it.
And we'll be right back after this message.
Stay locked in between the lines with Coach Stella.